Hey everyone, how's everybody doing? Hope everyone's had a good week so far and is enjoying their Friday. And as I mentioned before, I try to give you guys a recap on a weekly basis of what's happening with the Sarnia real estate market and keeping you up to date of what we're seeing for changes and everything like that. And I just want to start off by saying, whatever you do, try to stay positive. And the one way I'm really looking at this and really treating this whole event is I'm treating this like a massive snowstorm right now, in the sense where, all of a sudden the brakes got put on, we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't do anything. But when that snow melts, when we get through all this, life will start to get back to normal again and everything like that. And, I'm really seeing this. I'm seeing, try to keep your messaging positive, try to spend that extra time with your family. And, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I think things will normalize eventually. I don't think we're seeing the market go into recession like we did in like 2008, 2009. I find things are a lot different this time, and I'm saying the government takes some really good things as well. So yeah, like I said, treat it like a big snowstorm. Things with the brakes went on, things suck right now, 100%. But they're gonna get better, and there's a lot of positives that could maybe come out of this. So that's kind of how we're treating right now in our business. And I know, I look at all my friends that own restaurants and in the service industry and stuff like that, they've been hit hard, they're not getting those tips, they're not getting their income anymore. And I know the first thing I'm gonna do when this is all over is me and my wife are gonna go out for dinner, we're gonna go to the movies, my kids wanna go to the mall. And I think employers and I think businesses are gonna be surprised by how fast the business is gonna come back to them compared to stuff in the past when we've had recessions and stuff like that. So just stay positive, keep your messaging good, be optimistic about it if you can, spend that extra time with your family and everything, and we're all gonna get through this really together, which is great. Our business has changed so much in the last 3 weeks. Luckily I worked at a virtual brokerage already, and we didn't have a whole lot of adapting and how we're doing business differently, but we're still servicing our clients, and we're just having to make little tweaks in here to make sure we're doing it safe and following the board policies and recommendations, also Health Canada and everything like that. So yeah, stay good everyone, stay positive there, but let's look at what the market's doing, because that's what everyone really wants to know. So let's look back 3 weeks, kind of when all this started. We saw 8 price reductions, we saw 65 new homes on the market, 47 sold, and 10 came off. So that's the week from March 7th to 13th. Let's look at last week now. 11 price reductions, 40 new listings, 35 sold, 4 came off the market. Now let's look at the last week where things have changed the most. We saw 5 price reductions, 36 new listings still come on last week, 21 sold, and 4 came off the market. But here's an interesting fact right here, and by no means am I saying business is normal and business as usual. Things have changed, things are different. I know that, I acknowledge that. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But what I'm looking at is, let's look back last year, that same week last week, 21 homes sold that time, last year. So we haven't seen much of a difference yet in the market. And also I'm looking at too, I was talking to a lot of people, some very smart people that do this for a living and research this, Canadians have more equity in their homes than they've ever had before compared to, let's say, 2008 when the market crashed and stuff like that. So, I don't think real estate's going to go down here in Sarnia. I don't think there's a lot of room for it to go down. But even went down, we're going to be okay. We have very responsible banking systems. The banks are stepping up, helping the people as well. There's great stimulus from the government. Make sure you go on the website of the government and check, fact find. Just don't read what you see online, because a lot of stuff is going around. And the big thing I'm finding too right now is with tenants. There's a lot of talk right now. I have a lot of investor clients. They're saying, hey Sean, what do we do with our tenants right now if they can't pay us rent? Here's the 2 things I'd recommend. You as a landlord, be proactive. Reach out to your tenants now. Ask them how they are doing and see how things are going to move forward. Because you can't be shocked and surprised on the first that comes around and if you don't get all your rent. I think you need to be proactive. You need to reach out to your tenants now and say, hey, are you going to be able to pay on the first? And if they say no, what can we do to make arrangement to make sure we're getting some rent? Same with tenants. On the flip side, reach out to your landlord. If you're going to have trouble paying your rent, tell them now. Because you may think the landlord's loaded because they have an investment property. Not the case half the time. They're expecting that money as well to pay other bills. Give them a heads up. Say, hey, we're not going to be able to pay our rent. They can make other arrangements as well. And same with the tenants. Just because they've stopped evictions, it doesn't mean you can stop paying rent. work with your landlord, even if you pay a little bit or whatever you work out with your landlord. I'm not saying not to pay a rent or do whatever, but just work with the people, because all that money you don't pay now isn't a free pass. You're gonna have to pay it when all this comes through and the LTV comes back up, and you will be evicted for not paying your rent then. But if you work with your landlord now and you pay what you can, or pay your whole rent if you can, your outcomes will be much better in the end. So anyways, people, message here is stay focused, stay positive, treat it as a bad snowstorm. You woke up, we got a meter of snow like they did out east earlier this year, and everything's kind of shut down, but things will go on. Support your local businesses, order the takeout, order the delivery, be smart, enjoy this extra time with your family. And if you're a business that's affected, really look at maybe some things you can do to change how you're doing business right now, so when things do get back to normal, that you're ready to rock and roll. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a happy weekend with your family. We'll be on next week to update you on the market as well. And yeah, we'll talk to you later. Thanks.